When I say the word clutch, what do you think of? Chances are you think of moments. Jordan, Game 6. Steph Curry's double bang. Tiger sinking a hole-in-one on the 16th tee of the Phoenix Open and raising the roof. Steve Garvey in Game 4 of the 1984 NLCS. Okay, that last one was a little specific. In most sports, clutch is a feeling, an attribute, an ephemeral concept. But today, we are not talking about most sports. We're talking about baseball. And we're not just talking about any team. We're talking about the 2023 San Diego Padres. In baseball, there's a stat for everything. And in the Padres, there is always a humiliating outlier that pushes the limits of a given stat to the brink. There's even a stat that's called clutch. And in today's video, we'll be breaking down how the 2023 San Diego Padres defied centuries of history to become possibly the most unclutched team in baseball history. Let's start by defining the clutch stat. In baseball, much like other sports, there are high, medium, and low leverage situations. Let's say it's a hot May afternoon in Cincinnati and you're up to bat in the third inning with a score of 11-1. Unless you just ate a ton of Skyline chili and there's no bathroom in sight, that is a low leverage situation. Essentially, nothing you can do in that plate appearance can affect the outcome of the game. On the other hand, let's say it's Game 3 of the 2003 NLDS. You're Pudge Rodriguez up to bat with the bases loaded, 2 outs in the bottom of the 11th, down 1 run. An out loses the game, and a base hit probably ends it. That is as high leverage as it gets. A base hit in that situation is worth a lot more than a base hit on that hot May afternoon in Cincinnati. The thing is, the 162-game Major League Baseball season is filled with these moments. Extra inning games, blowouts, and everything in between. And the clutch stat takes all that information and breaks down one thing. How much better does a player or team perform in those high leverage situations than in a neutral situation? It expresses this information in win probability added. Simply put, if your clutch is -1, that means the timeliness of your hitting probably costs you 1 win. The same is true in reverse if your clutch number is +1. The 2023 San Diego Padres were not 1 game unclutch. They were in fact 9.4 games unclutch. That's the second highest number of all time, being beat out only by the 1965 Red Sox, who were 10.3 games unclutch. That Red Sox team, however, won just 62 games in 1965. This was at a time when the postseason consisted solely of the World Series, with the pennant winners of each league squaring off immediately after the regular season. That left the Red Sox exactly 40 games short of the 102-win Minnesota Twins and a playoff berth. The 2023 Padres, on the other hand, they went 82-80. Plus, they played in the era of expanded playoffs and 3 wildcard berths. So their 82-win record left them a measly 2 wins short of making the playoffs. Just how did the Padres, a team stacked with Juan Soto, Manny Machado, Fernando Tatis Jr., and Xander Bogaerts, accomplish such temporal futility at the plate? We need to dive deeper into their performance based on leverage. According to Fangraphs, the 2023 Padres put up a measly 66 WRC plus in high leverage situations. That was the second worst in the league, only to the 56-win Kansas City Royals. And the third worst team? That would be the 50-win Oakland Athletics, who put up a comparatively monster 76 WRC plus in those same situations. And what about those aforementioned superstars? While Juan Soto and breakout star Ha-Seong Kim fared well above league average in high leverage, Fernando Tatis Jr., Manny Machado, and Xander Bogaerts all ranged from bad to dreadful. Tatis's 81 WRC plus in high leverage situations means he roughly turned in the Cleveland Guardians' Will Brennan's overall performance. Manny Machado? He put up a 58 WRC plus in these situations. That's the same overall number as Chicago White Sox Clint Frazier. And as for Xander Bogaerts, he had 51 plate appearances in high leverage situations this season and grounded into 8 double plays, the most in the National League. That helped him sink all the way down to a 23 WRC plus in high leverage. Even Austin Hedges was able to squeak out a 24 WRC plus overall this season. So Tatis, Machado, and Bogaerts effectively turned into Will Brennan, Clint Frazier, and Austin Hedges this season when the game was on the line. Now compare that to every other plate appearance they had this season, where Tatis put up a 114 WRC plus, Machado earned a 120 WRC plus, and Bogaerts put up a whopping 128 WRC plus. What kind of effect does this untimely hitting have on a team's overall record? The Padres went just 9-23 in one-run games, a winning percentage of .281. That's 100 points lower than the next worst team, the Chicago White Sox, who went 19-30 in those games. The Padres also went 2-12 in extra innings, but that was only because they secured 2 extra inning victories in the final week of the season. As of game 158, they had tied the 1969 Montreal Expos for the worst performance ever in extra innings at 0 wins and 12 losses. And this is in an era when the zombie runner begins on second base in the 10th inning, providing near coin flip odds to extra inning games. But that got me thinking, just how would you measure the most unclutched team? If we're going by the pure clutch stat, the 1965 Red Sox take the crown. But that team was never going to make the playoffs. Even if it were clutch neutral, that team would have only put up 72 wins, putting them 30 wins short of matching the Minnesota Twins' 102 win record that season. Wouldn't the most unclutched team be the one whose ineptitude cost them the most? Here are the 25 most unclutched seasons ever according to the clutch stat. 5 of these teams still made the postseason. Most were pretty dreadful. However, there were only 3 teams on this list who fell short of the playoffs by single-digit wins: the 2023 Padres, the 2011 Red Sox, and the 1996 Chicago White Sox. Next, I created a clutch-neutral win total for each of these teams. For example, the 2023 Padres had a clutch rating of -9.4, so I added 9.4 wins to their total of 82, giving them a clutch-neutral win total of 91.4. Once I had their clutch-neutral wins, I subtracted how many wins each team would have needed to make the playoffs for their respective seasons. I call this the clutch-neutral gap. All 3 teams had a positive clutch-neutral gap, meaning that all 3 teams, arguably, missed the playoffs because of their unclutch hitting. But who was the worst offender? I determined this by taking their clutch-neutral gap, or how much better their clutch-neutral record was, from their playoff win total, and subtracted their real-life postseason win gap. This takes away the bonus more recent teams get from an expanded playoffs, where postseason win total thresholds are much lower. Finally, we've arrived at the most unclutched team ever. The result is a virtual tie. The 2023 Padres had a clutch-neutral difference of 5.4. The 2011 Red Sox had a clutch-neutral difference of 5.8. So yes, the 2011 Red Sox technically take this crown, but that left me with a bad taste in my mouth. After all, those Red Sox were just 4 years removed from their last World Series title, and would only have to wait another 2 years before they hoisted that hunk of metal again. On the other hand, the San Diego Padres still have only 2 World Series appearances in 55 seasons, and won just 1 game in those 2 series combined. With Juan Soto's future uncertain, and lengthy contracts bogging down the team finances for the next decade, only history will tell us what the true cost of the 2023 Padres unclutchness was. If you liked this video, be sure to like, comment, and subscribe to Padres Hot Tub for more content like this.